across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now Tua. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. Pulling a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Flushed out right. Lets it fly for Thielen. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Many times when a play breaks down and the quarterback's moving around outside of the pocket, you're thinking just get rid of something short. But a lot of guys are coached, think deep, take the big shot.
And look here, it's an opening drive fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it. There he goes, right side. He's at the 40. 20. 10. 5. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
That was a nice catch, and not by the guy you thought it was going to be. How about the defender turning into an offensive player as soon as the ball hits his hands, and off he goes, off to the races, and into the end zone.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Running again with Barkley on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Jones. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He's going to try and go deep again. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Giants. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Extra point attempt here still to come. It's up and good, so they go the conservative route instead, and it gets them a 7-6 lead here in the opening quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tua. And right back to Kittle. This time he's got it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Sensational he was last week, over 200 yards. And the simple quote that we saw this week was, keep him in front of us. They're going to have to do that.
And when they say that, it means tackling him after the catch. Because once he makes the catch, you may catch it in front. But if you don't tackle him, he's behind you at that point, and that's how he racks up the big yardage.
2nd down and 5. Now a give here to Pollard. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked out before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Play action. Now it's Tua. Out to his left. This one complete to Scott Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. On play action, here's Tua. And his throw here's incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From midfield, here's Tua. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And now off to the races down the right side. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Flush to his right. Touchdown, Giants! Kenny Galladay with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Tua going to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Well, this defense for the Giants, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right at the 35. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing Jones. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up 2nd. Clock runs, less than a minute to go, and an entertaining first quarter of play. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Tua sets up to pass it. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. He'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Looking to pass. Tua. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage excellent there downfield, and it leads to a 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And a fair catch called for and taken right on the midfield stripe. A 40-yard punt, no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that'll be caught by Tony. And he's got some space here. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A big play there on the catch and run. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. From the gun, Jones. And this is caught at the 8. And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A handoff to Barkley on the option. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. Jones. Steps up, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The big Vita Vea pushing his way through to wind up with a sack. And his kick is indeed good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This one caught by Kittle. And they can't bring him down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A credit the tackle to Brandon Jones.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
From the 41, Tua. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 25-yard line. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Tua, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. The two are going to try and throw for it. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us. Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they've got less than 30 seconds to go here, so not a lot of time to work with. Jones throw here pulled in by Galladay. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you get
Barkley hit, and the ball pops free. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Jones throwing on first down. Finds a seam inside the 40. And down right around the 37. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half it didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. Got a man open. It's Ross. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down. Looking to throw. Jones going deep downfield for Ross. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, that puts them in that position.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. Ooh, with a juke. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And they'll run the option on third and short yardage. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
On first down, Pollard. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And ultimately, this won't go for much, maybe a couple, but boy, he showed off that make-you-miss ability that certainly is in his arsenal. They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
8 yards to go on second down. On the draw, it's Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run with Jones on first down, but he'll struggle here just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10. Now Tua. Swinging this out for Pollard. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end of the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. From the gun, it's Tua. His throw caught at about the 5. And he's brought down.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. Now Tua going to try and sneak it. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's third down. They turn to the fullback, Gillespie, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. It's the fullback. His second touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the fourth. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Oh, able to avoid him. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. 46 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And the Bucs are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Measure say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Javon Kinlaw, the big D tackle there to bring him down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Tua wants to throw it on second down. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On second down, it's Pollard. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game. They'll drop to throw. Connects with Kittle underneath. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Tie game, fourth quarter, and they're going for this thing on fourth down. Now Tua just going to bat this forward on the end around. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. The give is to Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Here's Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And, oh, that would get a wind-up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. Third down coming up. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Tua. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Tua to throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Tony Pollard, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bucs are going to take the lead. Elliott on for the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. they go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. And I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is. Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused, because they still have some work to do?
A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. The full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Tagovailoa. Complete. Pollard. And he goes out right around the 39. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Trying to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Tua. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Back to throw is Tua. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that, because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Giants, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year.